Hello and welcome to Bay 1. This is Jafalmaraxi on, what is it, Tuesday the 15th of November 2016. So today we are taking an early look at the latest update for Robocraft. This is the Robo News update, or I don't know. There's so much going on at the moment, and I just figured out if I tried to wait, then we basically would have way too much stuff to go over for Thursday. So I'm doing kind of an intermediate update stream. And as always, if you're new to following me or watching my stuff, don't forget to subscribe. I stream on YouTube at Robocraft Bay 1, or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Drafel. Beam is beam.pro/Drafel, and Hitbox is hitbox.tv/Drafel, DRAFELL. And if you want to join me in the restream chat, you can. Not restream chat, oh my god, I'm so messed up at the moment. This is off cadence for me, so yeah, I'm just not with it. But anyway, I am posting the Discord chat channel into the chat information, so that should be going out onto all the various different services. And yeah, now back to the news. So, a lot of changes are coming to Robocraft. After the big map update last week, we have some interesting news that was originally released in the little Robo News update. So let's go through and read this off. Let's make sure that's showing up on the screen. Okay, yeah, it is. So, Half the Press is the latest issue of Robo News, the galaxy's #1 robo-political information service. And the changing battlefield. The battlefield is soon to be an unfamiliar place due to the groundbreaking developments under the direction of lead scientist of the E14, of the lead scientist. Oh my god, I can't read either. Professor Simmons announced amazing upgrades in processing power, allowing robots up to 2000 pflops. Additionally, these improvements mean robots with a new CPU can redirect that power into a weapon system, providing extra weapon energy. Finally, the passive power booster was refactored to provide instantaneous boost to weapon power when triggered. Senior Diplomat S. Mandala responded to the development, announcing that all future conflicts would remove CPU limitations. The Celestial Council has voted to lift all divisions on pilots in battles. Now the pilots will fight each other regardless of ranking and robot CPU, while giving all pilots access to full CPU regardless of pilot rank. Now, the little bit in the section here, restructuring within the E14 military. The announcement from the Celestial Council sent shockwaves through the E14 military structure. In response, Colonel Turner stated, "The new rules of combat created by the Celestial Council has forced E14 to restructure its command hierarchy. Ugh. Effective immediately, we will broaden our ranking structure from 150 pilot ranks to 10,000 ranks in an effort to improve our bureaucratic structures." Of course, adding more ranks definitely eases bureaucracy. Anyway, in the wake of restructuring, Colonel Turner announced changes to the distribution of plutonium quality salvage crates to improve recruitment. This grants pilots access to newly produced plutonium salvage crate with each rank of advancement. And then there's some more stuff about Voltec, Zenzap, Mental Accelerator, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so long story short, CPU is being raised from 1750 to 2000, and that 2000 limit is available to new players. It is no longer tied to your level. So you start out as a new player, you have access to 2000 CPU. Now how powerful your bot is going to be dependent on a lot more skill level, to be honest. So there's a lot more to go into with this. On top of that, no more tied to 150 levels. There's 10,000 levels, so you can just keep ranking up. And every time you level up, you get a plutonium crate, which is cool. Good stuff. Now, there's a dev jam here, which I could go through the dev jam, but there's actually a lot of information in the dev jam. Probably way too much to actually follow through, but either way, let's go through it. Or at least gloss over it. So basically, not maximum loadout, whatever this one is going to be, fast and formidable, there we go. This will be the biggest expansion for Robocraft since Maximum Loadout. It will be called Fast and Formidable and will feature some great changes to the core gameplay that will add a lot of new building freedom, new depth in building mechanics, improved matchmaking, and also address some key problems that we mentioned in Dev Jam 1. So basically, biggest change, I've already said that, is weapon energy versus CPU. So basically, weapon energy and CPU are going to be still somewhat dependent, but now the more CPU you are using, the less weapon energy you're going to have available, and it's going to be about double that for a bot that's 500 CPU compared to a bot that is at 2000 CPU. So if you've got all 2000 CPU used, you're going to have about half the energy that a bot at 500 CPU will have for your weapon firing. And that will definitely impact overall DPS or burst fire and things like that. So fast means faster. Along with that, mass and weight of all items are being adjusted. The top speed limits are being reduced, allowing smaller robots to technically be able to go a lot faster. And the only real unbalancing change, or the only change that might impact some players, is the fact that tank tracks are actually going to be made to use more CPU, but on top of that, they will also be a lot more robust and a lot more resilient for carrying heavy mass. So yeah, and the weapon energy module, or the booster module, that is basically being changed to an actual module instead of a passive unit. So you'll then be able to type to a key, and it will give you about a 50% boost to your energy every 60 seconds, which I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. It seems a little bit weird and a little bit counter to how it was supposed to work, given the gameplay mechanics. Now, the only thing I have a concern about in terms of raising the CPU up to 2000 is it's going to make it even more evident when you've got a robot that's really designed to be ablative or lose sections. You can still have a functioning robot if you lose 3/4 of it when you've got 2000 CPU. So you could easily have a functioning 500 CPU robot if you've lost most of it. It begs the question, is the death limit going to be changed? So if you lose 75% of your robot and you still got 500 CPU left, in terms of robot parts, are you still going to die, or is that going to be adjusted? Because that kind of seems like a high amount, to be honest, but that's questions. Anyway, so that's basically that part. I'm not really going to read the entire thing, but yeah, and this is the passive power to active energy. This is where they announce exactly how the weapon energy module will work. Currently, the power booster converts CPU into additional power, giving the player a boosted 25% power regeneration rate. However, this won't work as efficiently with the new CPU versus weapon energy changes coming this week, so we went back to the drawing board and opted to change the power booster from a passive always-on device to an active weapon energy module. Just like the other module, the new weapon energy module occupies one loadout slot, and once activating battle, it delivers the user a fixed amount of weapon energy in an instant. The amount of energy given equates to 100% of the weapon energy bar on a 2000 CPU robot and 50% of the weapon energy bar on a 500 CPU robot. So that's where you get the indication that the difference in energy between 500 CPU to 2000 CPU is that basically a 500 CPU robot has double the energy of a 2000 CPU robot, so that's where those numbers start to make sense. Weapon energy module stats cost rarity will remain the same, however it will now be subject to a 60-second cooldown, and here are the actual information. Rarity legendary cost 145,000, health 73,000, CPU load 290 pflops, mass 200 kilograms, restores 10,000 energy, and cooldown is 60 seconds. Also worth noting that the weapon energy module cannot be activated if a player's weapon energy bar is already at 100%. Additionally, it will not charge the weapon energy bar beyond 100%, so there's no overclocking of the weapon energy bar here, folks. So yeah, there's going to be more announcements coming out on this, but I just wanted to actually get this into the public domain so that I'm not having to recover it on the Thursday update, because to be honest, if I had to try and go through all of this stuff at once, God, that'd be way too much in one go, and I end up with videos that are way too long. So anyway, I'm going to cut the video off here. We just run over 10 minutes. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more information from me about these kinds of updates. And you know what, if you stay tuned in, I might be back just to mess around with some building stuff, because I'm way behind the times. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.